I begin in the name of Allah, most beneficent, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, dear brother and sister, brothers and sisters in Islam, and welcome to a very unique presentation and the continuation of our series known as Iftar Insights. This year, 2020, inshallah, we seek to build on the work that we have already undertaken in 2019 and the 2019 presentation of the series, bearing in mind the COVID-19 regulations, restrictions and lockdown that prevent masjids from being opened, etc., and prevent the regular observance locally of the holy month of Ramadan, and also that would prevent us from visiting these said masjids, to continue to highlight the cultures and traditions at these various masjids and Jamaats across the country. So bearing that in mind, we have thought long and hard about how we would like to ensure that this digital dawah initiative is able to continue and that we are still able to present you with meaningful content during this holy and blessed month of Ramadan. And as such, we have arrived at the 2020 edition, 2020 presentation of Iftar Insights, that which we are calling the Inside Edition. Because quite frankly, we're all locked away inside within the confines, but more so the safety of our homes, in our attempt to fight back and to flatten the curve and even quell the spread of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. So what is Iftar Insights Inside Edition exactly? Well, instead of the focus last year, which was on the Jamaats, the masjids, the Jamaats and the cultures at these various masjids and Jamaats, this year we will switch our focus, inshallah, to persons, individuals and their families. And the best part is, inshallah, that as Sister Asma will have mentioned in the official launch video that we published just yesterday for this series, one of the hallmarks, one of the things that we're certainly looking forward to is being able to share not just a local perspective but an international perspective with you. So inshallah, we will be chatting with individuals, and some of them will introduce us to their families from the safety and comfort of their homes, as we aim to share with you this year, 2020, in Iftar Insights Inside Edition, the different cultures, traditions and ways that Muslims and Muslim families observe the breaking of the fast at home, and especially so now during the COVID-19 lockdown. Welcome to Iftar Insights 2020, Iftar Insights Inside Edition officially. My name is Fuzz, and God willing, we have a whole lot to share with you as this month-long series, inshallah, wears along, including things that we were planning for since last year that obviously we're not going to be able to give to you and bring to you in full scope because of said restrictions, but that we will still attempt to at least present to you or explain to you as the month wears along. For now though, as we welcome and officially launch not just the series, but as we say Ramadan Mubarak to you and yours, I think it is most fitting that we begin our series by really understanding or reminding ourselves, even if we knew this information already, of what the holy month of Ramadan is about, what it entails, and why it is so significant and such a blessed month indeed. What are the rewards and what are all of the other things that we need to know, the attributes and others that we need to know about this holy and blessed month of Ramadan. And as such, we have now invited Haji Nizam Caliph to tell us about the month of Ramadan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah. All praise are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has afforded us this time in our lives to enter the month of Ramadan. We are exclusively prepared to go forward in this month with the preparation we had, especially with the 3 weeks of lockdown. I am pleased as the member of my community in Gasperu and as one of the Muslims in the Ummah of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to look forward to this month of Ramadan with esteemed pleasure. It is the month in which the Quran, the revelation started, and it is the month of the Quran and the month of fasting. This month has been afforded to us for the people before us, and it is here with us with Allah's blessings and a promise that He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will give us the reward, personal reward, for this fasting we have entered into. Today being the first day, I would like to convey the message to the people of Trinidad Tobago to say that Ramadan Mubarak to all. It is with great joy also that I take this opportunity to greet our fellow Muslims in our Jamaats and in the Jamaats throughout the country, with our Masjids being locked down, and we are in our homes. We look at the Ramadan at a different angle. You know, we have this time with our family, which before this, we were not really connected. Some of us didn't have the time. Some of us were occupied in preparing meals for the general public or the general Jamaat, as I say. And for me, personally, it is a strange experience. For years, I've been to Jamaats where we break the fast, you know, different locations throughout Trinidad Tobago. We had kept iftars, you know, and I look to this as a period of learning. We learn firstly to be with our family. We learn to be with our wives in the kitchen also. And we look forward to our lives being this experience of us that we have here with us, to remember it forever. For I like to be optimistic. We have to do extra in this month. We are given the opportunity, but we must not be pessimistic. Not because we are locked down in our homes is to say that we are aggrieved. For this month has been afforded to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for big rewards. It goes from 10 to 700 times the blessing we could get in this month. And it has been said over and over that this month of Ramadan is for forgiveness. Is the month of the Quran, the month of the Taraweeh, but it's also for forgiveness in the first part. You have the mercy in the second part. And the third part is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised us, savior from that hellfire. So whatever deeds we do in this part of the month, in this month of Ramadan, it is recorded by Allah. Whatever deed the son of Adam has done, it is recorded generally, and the angels take it up. But he himself will take this action of fast. Yeah, he himself will do it. And that, in itself will shed pleasure and light into the aspect of Ramadan. For I would like to tell you that it is the obedience to God that brings us this opportunity, and the pleasure of Allah that we try to attain is what we get in this month. And right here I'm sitting in my home I'm sitting and I'm talking to the Jamaat with this technology which Allah has afforded us. And it's a pleasure. You know, normally at this time we would be, getting prepared to make dua in the masjid, getting prepared to give some nasihat, or getting prepared to read Quran. But how many of us understand the message? The message that this Quran was revealed in this month, and we are to adhere to reading it, understanding it, practicing it in the Taraweeh. Taraweeh, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear Trinidad Tobago, is simply reading to the Quran, or it is called the Tahajjud prayer or the Qiyamul Layl. It is in these three contexts that we use the word, prayer. In the night prayer, it is called. So it is very heartwarming to know that we have embraced this month and we are alive to face it, and with our family. So my dear people, this lockdown is an opportunity for us. Number one, to the men, we are to help in the kitchen. You no longer leave your wife at home and go out to work. We are not in the hustle and bustle of returning from work. Some of us work at home. It is this opportunity we seize in Ramadan in this month to work with it, to work around it, and to spend time reading Taraweeh. Imagine, tonight I will perform Isha with my children and family, and I will read a couple of rakats Taraweeh, but I will get up in the night. I will get up in the night for Qiyamul Layl or Tahajjud Salah, which carries great reward. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has left this legacy with us. So why does he left this with us? Because each year, this month brings us the blessing, so that what we learn from this month, we can relate to the rest of the 11 months, inshallah. To practice in this 1 month, to bring your soul, your heart, your spirituality in line with obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is magnificent. And I must appeal to each one of us, to our imams, to everyone who we are leaders in our society, to please reach out to the people in other ways than one. This is just one of the ways, right? What is there in a date to break the fast? A lot, my dear Muslims, my dear believers. In a date, in a morsel of food that you give another person to break the fast, you can get that same blessing that he is getting when he breaks the fast, when he has fasted that day. So my appeal to you is to take cognizance of the fact that we are here, we are alive, and we are practicing the deen, even though it's COVID-19 lockdown. And in going towards attaining success in this world, which is attained by prayer, fasting, you give a little charity, you give a lot of charity this month, because its manifold effect would be there for us. And when you practice the deen in this month, I am saying the thawab, the blessing, everything multiplies. So why must I not look forward to this? Why must I not look forward to reaching out to my family, those who are poor, those who are needy? We take this opportunity, not before this, in previous years and months, we were in the Masjids, we were giving, we were feeding the people, but now is the opportunity. Find the poor in your area. Find them and feed them. And get rewards that it surpasses all. I'm going to tell you, I always look forward to this itikaf in the masjid. But this year, I'm going to cling to this hadith which says to us that what is better than itikaf? Going out there and helping your fellow Muslims to alleviate some problem, to help him in some way, to assist him, so that we will get the help in this world and the next. That is better than itikaf. So those who are missing the itikaf, remember, I'm telling you, it is just fast forwarding for me to tell you this. We don't know what will happen in the future in TNT, nor with Ramadan, but we know today, here and now, we establish the fact that it's a pleasure to be attaining this month and fasting the first day. And with our intention, I would like to solidify this with you all, make intention to fast for the rest of this month, and to understand that we are not locked down. We have an opportunity where we will make the most of it, inshallah. With this in mind, I will pose a question to you all now. If we are not in traffic jam, we are not in a place where we commuting with our children to and from, it's more ease for us. Isn't that in line with the Quran that says Allah wishes ease for us? It is the verse that deals with Ramadan. Allah says to us, He wishes ease for you. And my dear people, take it with this month that Allah will have the most ease for us. May Allah guide us along and help us. Wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah khair, Uncle Nizam. Thank you for sharing that message with us. Now, you would have Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My apologies. And Ramadan Mubarak to you and your family. Thank you for joining us for this first episode of Iftar Insights Inside Edition. You would have noticed within the discourse that there may have been a little bit of music in the background, and you would know that he is at home, and this is what we would have to expect. You would have heard a little knocking of the pots. That's because the family was preparing for the breaking of the fast and dinner as well. So there will be a little bit of that as we go along during the series. So please bear with us. We appreciate that. We would like to ask you to join us now with Uncle Nizam and his family as they break the fast. A little bit about Uncle Nizam. He is attached to the Beirut Street Ashram Masjid right here in Gasparillo, so he's very close to us, and he is the Imam who actually performed our marriage, so that makes it even closer for Fuzz and I. Now let's go and join Uncle Nizam and his family as they break their fast.
Alhamdulillah. We are about to break the fast. I will invite my wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law, everyone to come on, and we'll break the fast in a while. As I say, it's a time for family. We would normally be in the masjid where people will be serving us. Today, we will serve ourselves, and we will have this time with our grandchildren on the side of me here, and my wife and daughter. And it will be an honor with this first day of fast with my family. You know, we are looking forward to broadening our horizons in terms of, although we are at home, we can invite neighbors, friends, family, 2 or 3 to break fast with us. And as I say, this breaking of the fast is important because we normally make dua before the breaking of the fast. So I will proceed to make this dua on behalf of myself, my family, and the Jamaat throughout, inshallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim وعلى إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا تقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مجيب الدعوات. Ya Allah, you have given to us, Ya Allah, and we thank Thee and we praise Thee and glorify Thee as much as you have shown us in the number of your creation. Ya Allah, in this month of Ramadan, we begin our first day, we thank You, and we are about to break the fast with the food that comes from Thee, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, we thank and praise and glorify Thee as we begin, and we break the fast with the food that comes from Thee. Bismillah, Fa'ala, Barakatuh. We now break the fast. To reminisce a little, I will tell you that it reminds me of when I was growing up in my teens. You know, we used to have the gathering, my grandfather, my grandmother, you know, and it's to tell you that on both sides, my grandfathers, they were imams, you know. So we had it really, really nice. In breaking the fast and the gathering that we had, everybody used to get together and some people used to bring food from other homes. But one thing I must tell you about my grandfather, to wake up every morning, he used to throw stones on the house, our home, and that's how we wake up at 4:10. My old grandfather used to come and throw stone and throw the stone in the house. Like, oh, you know, time to wake up, time for the fast. And we used to travel to go to the masjid. We used to walk to go to the masjid, right? At that time, I lived at Faizabad, and we used to walk to go to Massaud Junction. May Allah bless Imam Jalil Massaud. That's the name that comes to my mind now. He was our first Imam in the area, you know, and Imam Rashid also, who is Brother Sheldon's in-law, father-in-law, you know, deceased. May Allah bless them also. They were instrumental in raising our Jamaat and our lives in that Jamaat as fasting people. You know, Imam Rashid was from India. Haji Jalil was, he grew up amongst us and he was from Massaud Junction. The area got their name from his family. So I must say that I reminisce and to tell you that we used to have it really, really good. And this reminds me of the time, you know. Because now we have it made, already made. You can order roti. You can order doubles. We have homemade doubles here for, you know, we have homemade doubles. But the thing is, now you can order anything online and get it. You know, this is not a fasting about online again. This is a fasting with ourselves, our own hands, putting together things to break the fast, inshallah. Right? So, this is how we look at it. Very positive. And for the future days, we'll make it better, inshallah. And I remind you that Allah says He will make it easy for us. This is one of the ways. You know, we have pepper roti involved also. What a better way than the wife can, you know, surprise than the first day with pepper roti. You know what I mean? Local pepper roti, alhamdulillah. Right? Local doubles. Right? And this wasn't planned. I admit, I know, by Allah, I say this wasn't planned. It's just ad hoc and we come together. So, to the rest of the people who are breaking the fast, may Allah accept all our fast. You know? And it is, and make it beneficial for us, for this whole country. This whole country must benefit from the fast of the Muslims. And breaking the fast, especially one of our du'as. Oh Allah, take us out of this pandemic, inshallah. Right? Ameen.
Alhamdulillah, what a wonderful spread indeed that we were privy to be able to see via this digital dawah series. And thank you very much again to Uncle Nizam and his family for inviting us to join with them virtually and digitally for the breaking of the fast today on the first day of the holy month of Ramadan 2020. Assalamu alaikum, wife.
Walaikum assalam.
How was the fast on the first day?
I think it was good. My stomach may have grumbled about twice. But alhamdulillah, it is amazing the mercies and the barakah that your time has during this blessed month.
And you know, just before you said that, I was actually thinking about it. I was looking back on the first day, and I have to say that for me personally, the biggest blessing of the first day was the barakah in time. You know, the things that we were able to get done in this day has been absolutely phenomenal, and these are things that we probably would have struggled with or had to
Correct.
roll over into another day, you know. So you can see the tangible benefits and blessings in it.
Indeed.
And before we really end off today's segment, I would like to give you a watermelon story. Would that be okay if we share that watermelon story?
I think so.
Yeah. So during the course of the day, we had some errands to run, and we were trying to deliver some things to somebody, and a brother called just as we were about to purchase some fresh items, right? Fresh produce.
Fresh.
Yeah. And a brother called, a good friend of mine by the name of Ryan, called and said he was, he was passing through the area. He went to purchase supplies, and he'd like to drop one of these watermelons off for me. So I immediately told her, okay, let's go. We came home, we met up, we collected full PPE, etc., because everybody's out venturing out with masks and that sort of stuff, you know. And as we collected this watermelon, we thought about it and we asked him immediately. We said, listen, I know you brought this for us, but is it okay that we can give it to such and such since we're already en route there? And he said, yeah, definitely not a problem. And we dropped it off. So he, inshallah, hopefully we'll get those blessings. And lo and behold, later on in the afternoon, we received the blessing of a half of a watermelon. It turns out that half of a watermelon was another watermelon that the same brother Ryan had delivered to somebody else, and they thought about us, cut this watermelon in half, and decided to share half of that melon with us. And we were just blown away by the irony of it, and started thinking to ourselves, Allah says that what is for you is for you, and I'm paraphrasing there, but what is for you is for you. And no matter how things go, it is sure to come to you. We had reason to give that watermelon. We asked for permission first because it was a gift given to us. Permission was granted with the hope that this brother would get some blessings when we delivered said melon. And lo and behold, a very said melon, because that was the last that he had, or else he would have replaced it with another, And it was just such an amazing experience, So that's our first day Ramadan experience. Yeah,
it was
amazing indeed. I do hope, inshallah, that you will continue to be able to join us for the continuation of this series. We are trying to make do the best as we can under the circumstances. And just as we did last year, where we took you to different parts of the country, different masjids, different areas of the country, Trinidad and Tobago, we hope to be able to do that this year, as mentioned, where we'll take you not just to different parts of this country, Twin Island Republic, but to different parts of the world as well. Inshallah, we'll get to the world soon enough, but for now, we're leaving Gasparilla, where Uncle Nizam resides, and tomorrow, day 2, inshallah, we will be heading to Martin, where we will be joining with Brother Tabshir Budu, whom you will know from the Iftar Insights series of last year. We'll be joining with him and his beautiful family in Martin for the breaking of fast, day 2, during the month of Ramadan 2020. Iftar Insights Inside Edition. I'm excited. Are you, wife?
I am. It's a whole new experience.
And by the way, welcome to our home here in Gasparilla. We've just sort of put together an impromptu setup so that we can be able to share these moments with you. Ramadan Mubarak to you and yours. We hope that this month is a month filled with reward and blessing and everything else that you work for and deserve during this month. This is literally the month where you're going to get so much more than you put in. All you have to do is be willing to put in. And put in doesn't only mean that you pray all day long, especially in the circumstances that we live in now. Put in could mean rendering assistance to anybody who is in a dire situation or strait. Put in could mean ensuring that your neighbors have a meal, and feeding the poor, feeding those who are not able to feed themselves, is probably one of the greatest blessings that a Muslim could accrue on his or her account. More on that and a lot more to come on various presentations of Iftar Insights Inside Edition. Jazakallah khair for joining us. Ramadan Kareem once again from my wife and I. Assalamu alaikum.